licking branch, scrape, horizontal limb, everything a buck needs in the spot we decided where it would be to get good video of a self-film hunt. That's our goal. So, and hopefully a big buck to boot. See what happens, but it should be a fun hunt.
Slipped in here this morning. Kind of waited till daylight to get to pass through a couple of fields to get here. Actually saw a real nice buck while we were walking in, just cruising. Pretty wide. I think he's that 9-pointer that I've got on a couple of rubs here, but slipped back to this spot. As you can tell, that rub's been used quite a bit there. Checked the trail camera on it. Unfortunately, the raccoons had twisted the trail camera, so I couldn't really see what had been using it. So I reset the trail camera and put a couple more on there. So, real nice, quiet, cold morning. About 30 degrees, so sit back here and see what happens. But pretty close quarters, so probably won't be doing a lot of chit-chatting until something shows up, I guess. Well, that's pretty cool right there. That's probably the oldest buck on the farm. On the farm right there. Couple of squirrels over here fighting again. Real heavy duty 8-pointer. He's the one that's been on these rubs quite a bit. Real quiet this morning. Kind of damp, but come in. I mean, that's close quarters right there, but he worked the rub back to me. You know, had the camera on him. Didn't try to draw the bow, just on account I didn't want to scare him, but might have a couple of more camera angles of him also there. Got a couple of trail cameras down here, so that's worth the wait there. November. It's fun, that's for sure. We would have probably shot that one if we didn't know there was, you know, the circuit breaker buck here and that big 10 over here on the other side of the farm. It just, you know, if you want to shoot one of them, you just gotta hold out, I guess. So that was a fun encounter there. Well, it's getting later in the morning here. I just thought we'd take a look at the buck's perspective, how he walked into this setup and what he would have been looking at. I don't know, it's this setup is actually that rub that I set up earlier this summer. I come in here and
Well, I put the 2 poles in for the horizontal rub earlier in the summer there, along with I mixed a little sand in with the soil. The soil's real hard here, compacted, and so I mixed in that sand with the soil, made it a little more loamy, and then we, about the 1st of October, we come in here and put the horizontal limb up and put a trail camera on it at that time. But like I said there before, the raccoons had twisted the trail camera, so it was, when it was triggering, it was just triggering off into the brush there, and I wasn't getting a lot of video that I could tell what was using it, but you can tell it's been used quite a bit. But so I just thought I'd get the little video of the buck's perspective, what he would have saw when he walked in here. I'm sure he'd been on this rub before, so he kind of act like he knew it was here, and he kind of walked up there like he was going to walk right on by it, and then he kind of looked over there and maybe decided, well, I'll go over there and check the end of that rub out and just see if there's any fresh scent on there from another buck or something. But I have 3 different trail cameras running also on the scrape, and you can see that he was looking right directly into the one trail camera, and he walked by the other 2. He walked right in front of this one, about, I don't know, 3 feet from it when he walked by it. We'll just walk through the setup as what he would have saw from his perspective, and it's from where I was sitting in the tree to where the buck was on the end of that rub. It's 12 yards to the end of that rub, so you can see that he was pretty close, and I'm probably not 8 foot up that tree, so, but you can see there's a lot of cover, and he would have been looking, directly away from me, kind of when he come into the setup, so he wouldn't have been able to pick me up, and his attention was kind of looking at the rub anyway. So, well, that's kind of what he would have been looking at. You can see that big old hedge tree there. I mean, when he come in, there's quite a bit of brush here. That was hiding me, so I'm sitting up next to the trunk of that tree, so I'm blended in there pretty good, even though he is close, and I got the perfect wind blowing from the rub right past the tree, kind of down over the ridge there. So what this is also, it's just the back side of a bedding area, all that thick brush up in there is real good bedding cover, and there's a harvested bean field up there that they've been feeding in, and I'm just set up basically on the end of this ridge, thinking that that's real good bedding cover for does and bucks, either one up there. And this is just kind of a back trail where the buck was probably going in here, and just going to check for does this morning. And I set this rub up basically right on this trail, and there was a natural scrape here last year, so, but I could actually smell real heavy of buck musk off of this rub, so obviously there's been more than him on it or whatever. And he was just walked over there, and I think he was just checking the scent on the end of the rub and worked it a little bit there. But so I don't know, that's I guess the setup worked. It just held his attention, although not very long, but it held it long enough to where I could have drawn the bow and got ready. And then when he walked out of the setup, turned, and he's perfectly broadside there at 12 yards. So, I'd have probably, grunted at him there and tried to stop him, but I'd had the bow drawn and everything and all ready to shoot there. So buck had a little bit of a limp to him. Maybe he's been fighting with a bigger buck. But it's pretty cool when everything works out. And got good video, that's the main thing. So we'll keep after it. Maybe get a bigger one. Maybe we'll shoot one, you never know.